Good morning, yogis. So just so you know, this is Zoom. We're on Zoom. We usually have a couple on Zoom, so just wait. Hi, Zoomers. Okay, let's get started. So come sit in your chair, find your sit bones. Lift up and out of your center. Let's move the shoulders up, back, and down. And then stop and we'll move them in the opposite direction. And lift them up to our ears and squeeze and hold, and then take them down. Let's do that again, up to your ears and squeeze and hold. And then release and bring them down. I like 3, so let's do one more. Ears and squeeze and hold, and then release them down. Okay, let's take the arms out to the side and give yourself a nice big hug. Full pat. And then we'll rock from side to side. So one sit bone to the other. And then come to center, and we'll do a little twist, right into the left. A little more difficult, but it's good. Come back to the center and release your arms. Hang them down by your side. We're going to switch it up. Arms up to the side. Now your natural flow is to go in one way. See if you can. The opposite arm on top. And we'll rock from side to side. And we'll come to the center and move from side to side. And we'll come to the center, release your arms and hang them by your side and give them a little shake. Okay. Moving to the edge of our chair. Begin with some cat and cow. So the cow works when you lift your heart. Let it come from your chest and not from your head. Your head just goes for the ride. And then cat is rounding of the spine. So keep those arms nice and straight. With the in-breath, lift the heart. Feel the spine arc right into your back. And exhale and round. Into your own breath, just open and round. Good morning. Go to the other. Oh, okay. I thought that might happen. Lift your heart and then round. So back and forth to your own breath here. Warming up our spine, we're creating lots of space between the vertebrae. When you're ready, come back to neutral. We'll sit back in our chair a bit so half your thigh is supported. So we'll take, this is my right hand, I'm going to hold the underside of my chair. And then with my left arm, I'm going to bring it right up next to my ear. So we're going to use the breath to stretch and reach on the inhale and open on the exhale. We're going to feel the weight shift from sit bone to sit bone, and that's what we want. Next time you inhale, come up and stretch up through your fingertips and bend the elbow and bring it down. Go to the other side. Really stretch and reach through those fingertips. And exhale and open. Inhale and reach and exhale. And the elbow. Let's come forward. So we'll come to the edge of our chair. Your feet hip width apart, and we'll start with the breath in. And as you exhale, just glide your hands over your knees down towards your ankle. Then as you start to inhale, walk your hands up and over, coming to center. Inhale, exhaling, coming forward. Inhale and press your feet into the floor and walk your hands up and back. Let's do it one more time. Other breath. Bring you over and down. And then gently walk it up and back. Okay. Do a twist. We'll take, this is my right arm, way over here to my left knee. Whatever arm, we'll get to both, I promise. We're just gonna inhale the arm up and then open it to the back. Do a little twist with your torso. So if this bothers your shoulder at all, keep a little bend in the elbow. Do the best you can. So we're gonna inhale up and back. I'll just pose a regular rainbow. One more. Again, if it bothers your shoulder, put a bend in the elbow or just skip it altogether. So this is my left arm over to my right knee. My right arm is just going to hang down by my side, lift it up and a little bit behind. Use your breath. More. Hands on thighs. Come forward just to come back to center. Beginning with a breath. We'll glide the hands over the knees and down. Inhale, we'll walk those hands up. Sit back in our chair and stretch the right leg out. Just going to kind of warm up ankles, knees, hips. Or we stand up, doing a little point and flex. And some big circles. And to the center and in the other direction. Release and we'll go to the other side, stretch it out, the point and flex. Then we'll go round and round. Go really slow. You'll feel where maybe it's a little sore or not much flexibility there. Stop and go in the opposite. Maybe there's a difference from one foot to the other. And release. Come to the edge of our chair. We'll take the right knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. And the left knee into your chest and give it a squeeze. Breath into your belly. Let it out with the. No, it's not easy. Breathing techniques are not easy with a mask. Do the best you can. Once more. Nice big breath into your belly. Let it out with the. Okay. Let's stand up. Checking my Zoom here. My head is cut off. We'll fix that. Okay. I need like a technical person here doing my Zoom for me. Okay. Stand behind your chair. And we're just gonna come into the mountain. So your feet and your toes are nice and wide. There's lots of space between. Your feet are hip width apart. And lifting up and out of your center, let's take the shoulders up, down, and back. And just breathe in that pose for a moment. Try that again. Take your shoulders up, down, and back. Get them back. Do a little squeeze of your shoulder blades. Notice your chest. Your belly is open. Imagine if we went through life like this, open and able to breathe. The world, gravity takes over and rounds our shoulders. Open your heart. Okay, let's open the feet a little wider. And with our hands on our hips, we'll just go side to side. And then we'll go round and round. Make sure your knees are a little bit bent for this. You don't want them to be locked backwards. Come to the center, move in the opposite direction. And back to the center, and we'll go from side to side. Moving to the left and stop for a breath. And moving to the right and stop for a breath. And back to the center. Lock your feet together. And come back into mountain. Okay. You can have your fingers on your chair for this next one, or you can place your hands on your hips. We're just going to kick your heels back. And it feels like your feet need to be wider for this. Speed it up a little bit. And then slow it down. And come to the center, and we'll walk the feet together and hold for a while. Let's bring it forward. So hands on the hips, chair, and we're going to come up on the big toe, out to the side, a little to the front. Side, right and left. And keep breathing. And coming back to center. And really come back to center, your feet. And then we'll move it out to the side and back. It's like a balance. And make sure you're breathing. And coming back to the center. With your breath. Okay, so open your feet a little wider than hip width apart. Your knees are easy. And we're going to bring the arm, this is my right arm, doesn't matter which one. You're bringing it out in front, with the palm facing down, and then up and back. A big circle. So you're breathing. If it's too much for the shoulder, bend your elbow, take some of the heat out of it. Take smaller circles. Take care of yourself. Okay. Go to the other side. Arm out in front, palm facing down, big circle. And come to the side. We're going to switch it up. We're going to bring the palm forward and reach it back and in front. Do the best you can with the palm. Feels like we're saying, hey, come on over. Come on over. And let's go to the other side. Palm out in front. Nope, wrong way. Palm in front. We're reaching it back. Come on over. And a couple. And back to the center, back into your mountain. And arms out to the side, give yourself a nice big hug. And let's twist from side to side. So knees are bent. One knee bends and then the other for this. And come to the center. Use your arms and we'll shake them out. Stay where you are. You can place your chair at the top of your mat with the seat facing away. I like to have all four legs of the chair on the mat, so it's not going to take off on you. A little slippy. Okay, so let's walk back into a downward dog. So beginning in mountain and then a nice deep breath in. The exhale walks us back into the downward dog. And then when you feel like you need to inhale, you lift the chest. Then walk into mountain again. So let's do that a few times to your own breath. Exhale, inhaling and exhaling. Walking back into downward dog on your exhale. And then using the inhale to walk back into the mountain. It really come into the mountain. Do it once more. Really come back into that mountain. Let's move to the back of our mat. A lot of times, you can step back into the poses that we're going to do, but I don't recommend that. So we're going to step forward into the warrior pose. So we'll begin in the mountain. I like to place my hands on my hips for this. Just a preference, not necessary. And with your next breath in, Step forward with your right foot. Don't be afraid to make a nice step forward. And we'll begin with straight legs. Chair back towards you. And with straight legs, we're going to bring our palms to the top of your chair and just bring your chest forward until you feel a nice stretch. Lift the kneecap of that right leg. The next time you inhale, we'll press up and come back into wide leg. Let's walk the feet together and we'll come back to the back of your mat. Mountain. Hands on your hips. And take a big step forward with your left foot. Nice straight legs here. And we'll come forward from your hip, hands on your chair. And drop your chest forward. Lift the kneecap on the left leg. And feel the stretch. Next time you inhale, let's press up. Coming into wide leg, and then we'll walk the feet together. Let's use this opportunity to walk back into a downward dog. Okay, I'm going to bring my chair back to the top of my mat. I'm going to walk to the back. We're beginning in mountain. And again, the hands on your hips. Take a nice big step forward with your right foot. And then settle into your wide leg pose here. Your shoulders up, down, and back, and point your fingers to the floor. The next time you inhale, we're going to draw the arms out in front and then all the way up. We're going to bend the forward knee. Let's not stay here. Make the exhale bring you back to neutral. Inhale will bring you out and up into the warrior. The exhale will bring you down and back to neutral. Let's do that 3 more times to your own breath. Here we go. This last one, we're going to hold for a breath. And then we'll walk our feet together. Beautiful. Let's use this opportunity to do a downward dog. Nice deep breath in and walk, downward dog. These 2 poses balance each other nicely. As the warrior pose builds heat and strength and gets your breath going and your heart pumping, the downward dog takes it down, all the energy down. Go. So that's why they work so nicely together. Okay. Back in our mountain pose. Place the hands on the hips and a nice big step forward from the left. And we're going to draw those arms down by your side, fingers point to the floor, really open your chest here. We'll use our breath to move in and out of the breath. 3 more of these. This last one, we're going to hold for a breath. Then we'll walk our feet together. Take this opportunity to do another downward dog. Starting on an inhale and walking yourself downward dog. Walk back into the mountain pose and we'll hold here for a breath. It's really hot in here when you're doing yoga. So I appreciate you coming and wearing a mask. It's really, really good, really nice. Okay, so let's come down onto our mat. So staying in your chair is an option. This kind of modify, but it doesn't look like we need it. Okay, let's begin. Let's stick pose. So just stretching those legs out in front. And you'll see me reaching back. It's just kind of moving flesh around. When you sit in Dandasana or stick pose, staff pose, you want to feel your sit bones. And if you can't, you can move your flesh around. It reminds me of like a tripod, right? Like all the legs come together in the center. And to get it to be stable, you pull it apart, right? It feels like that with your sit bones. Because they do, they kind of come together. And we want to support our lower back and all that good stuff. So let's begin with just an easy peasy forward bend, right? We're not even trying to come to the toes. We're just reaching towards your ankles. And you're looking for kind of fold here. It's very common to kind of round and get to those toes. But think about hinging forward, a nice flat back, right? A hinge is flat on each side, not rounded. So think about lifting up through the crown of your head, open your chest, and then fold forward. And of course, your back shouldn't hurt. If it does, you can always bend those knees a little deeper. Okay, let's sit up and back. And we're going to take the sole of our right foot to the thigh of your left. Now, this might be happening. And if you have a jacket close by or a towel, that's a great idea. Keep doing that. You can always place it under. And the reason why is because think about, your arm out in space. It's not going to relax if it has to work. If my arm has to hold up a bowling ball, my muscles aren't going to relax. The same thing for your hip. If it's holding a leg out to the side, it's not going to relax. And that's what we want, an opening, right? A relaxation. So let's bring it in, stretch it away. And we'll go to the other side. And again, we're not staying here very long, but if you were doing this at home, you would support that knee. Let's bring it in and stretch it out. A little shake. Then we'll open the feet nice and wide. You don't have to go very far. Especially if we want rounding here. Again, we want that hinge, right? Coming forward from your hip. Take the hands in between your knees and press through the heels of your feet. Toes are looking up. Inhale to the center, and then take one hand on either side of your right knee, and your gaze should be right down to those toes. Again, we're looking for the fold, right? The hinging. Up and come to the center again. to the opposite side. Knees up and back. Let's bring the hands around to the back and open your chest. And then exhale, release, and we'll bring the soles of your feet together. I gotta remember this one. I tell the same story over and over about this one. This is called the cobbler's pose. It's called the cobbler's pose because I don't know if this is still true today, but it used to be true that men and women would use this space to the side of their feet to cobble shoes all day, 8 hours. Can you imagine? 8 hours. Imagine the hip flexibility. Breathing into your belly this way is almost an exercise for your diaphragm. Okay, let's lift up onto your elbows. And just play with those elbows for a minute and make sure they're directly under your shoulders. So they're not too much forward, too much to the back or too wide, but they're directly under. Then create lots of space between your fingers. And lift up to the crown of your head. Imagine you're growing your spine tall here. See if you can bring your breath nice and low down into your belly. This is called the Sphinx pose. Let's bring the hands now outside of your shoulders. You still have lots of space between your fingers. And you're going to use the exhale now to come into cobra. So your shoulders are down away from your ears. The breath in, and then lift the back of your head. See if you can come into cobra just with the strength of your back. And then release down on your forehead. And we'll try another. Take a breath in. And lift up with cobra by the strength of your back, not necessarily your hands. Right now, let's just lift the heart, and then we'll gently come back down onto your forehead. And last one, begin with a breath. And lift up into cobra. Time, add a little bit from your hand, but keep your belly button and your hips on the floor. And when you're ready, release down, and we'll come back into the crocodile pose. So hands are stacked, elbows out to the side. And let's just breathe here for a couple of breaths. Okay. Bring the hands to the side of your torso and lift it to downward dog or table pose. I apologize. We're in table pose. So just for 2 arms, 2 legs. Into table pose. So you want the inside of your elbows looking at each other. Let's do a little cat and cow here before we move into our downward facing dog. So inhaling, bringing your heart forward. Exhaling and rounding. The movement comes from your spine. And your head just follows. It's not directing anything. Okay. The next time you exhale, let's press all the way back into child's pose. Arms can be out in front, alongside, or supporting your child's pose. Let's inhale and lift up into table once again. And when you're ready, we'll inhale your toes under and exhale. Lift your knees into downward dog. You won't stay here very long. We'll release your knees and press back into child's pose. Let's lift up into table again. Inhale your toes under and exhale, lift the knees into downward dog. Next time you inhale, drop the knees and press back into child's pose. And as you take your inhale, walk your hands back into the rock pose. Let's begin with our feet on the floor and our knees are bent. Take the right knee into your chest and extend the left leg long. And release that knee, left knee into your chest and extend the right leg long. Release that knee. Let's walk the feet nice and wide. So your knees are bent, your feet on the floor. We're going to walk the knees wide. I usually keep my hands on my belly. And take turns dropping the knee to the center. So first, the right knee drops to the center. Then the left knee drops to the center. It's almost like the washing machine. I mean, a windshield wiper. That's what I call this. And when you drop your knees to the right, just hold for a breath and see how that feels. Up and drop them to the left and hold for a breath. See how that feels. Then draw the knees to the ceiling and we'll walk the feet together. So we don't have props in this class. I think COVID kind of did away with sharing things, right? So as we move forward into these poses for our legs, just be mindful you don't have straps and things like that that would aid us. So at any time you're tugging on your arms, it's just not working, just we'll ease up and I'll through it. Okay. So let's begin with our knees pointed up to the ceiling, our feet on the floor, and we're just gonna lift the right leg, right? Just lift it up, point your toes to the ceiling. And if you can reach forward comfortably with your arms, go ahead and interlace your fingers behind your thigh. Now, a couple of important things for this pose, that your low back is grounded into your mat, not lifting. And of course, you're not lifting your chin high, that you're dropping your chin low and opening the back of your neck, okay? So, two important spots here. So here, just take a minute, with your fingers and palpate, just move around your hamstrings, right? Kind of dig in there a little bit. These muscles are typically very tight in our culture because we do a lot of sitting. Then press up through the heel and draw the toes back towards you. Again, your low back is grounded, back of your head is grounded. And then release the effort and just press the toe up to the ceiling. Stretch that leg nice and long. Then bend the knee and bring it. And before I go to the other side, just take a moment to notice, right? We will go to the other side. So we'll stretch up your left leg, point the toe, make it as long as you can. Back is grounded, neck is open, and just reach forward and interlace your fingers and give it a hug. We'll do a little flex. And with your fingers, out your hamstrings, just pinch them a little bit. Hold them, massage them. And press through the heel and draw the toes towards you. So we're opening up the hamstrings. And then release, bend the knee and drop the feet to the floor. Let's take one knee in and then the other. Cross your ankles and we'll rock them side. With your hands on your knee, drop the air. And change the direction. When you're ready, go ahead and rock into. Go over onto one side. On my left side. And to be stable in this side pose, bend your knees. And then you have a couple of options for your head, right? You can lay on your upper arm, you can bend the elbow and make a little pillow for your head. Or you can place a jacket or a block under there. And then take the other hand and just bring it out in front of your chest. So it's helping you stay propped up on your side. Okay, knees are bent. We're going to straighten the top leg and really press down through the heels. So you're making it nice and long down the length of your mat. Then we'll ease up and we'll bring the foot a little forward and back, so like a pendulum, right? Forward and back. And then bend the knee and place the leg on top of the other. Now we're going to keep the knees bent, and we're going to lift the top knee and make big circles outward. So it's the knee that's doing the circle, not necessarily the leg. You don't want to straighten your leg. You want, okay, and then stack it on top of the other leg. And then we'll make those big circles towards your body. And then stack it on the leg and stretch it long. Okay, stack it on top of the other leg. Then we're going to stretch it long again. Press through the heel and we're going to lift it up. It doesn't have to go real high. You want the knee to stay forward and not open. So you want it to come from the side of your leg that's lifting. There you go. And then stack it on the other leg. And just with your hands, rub that hip. Because I'm sure you can feel that it's working. It's working. Okay. Now you can roll over onto your back and we'll go to the other side. For me, I'm just gonna, and other side. Take your time. Bring your pillow. Bend your knees. Straighten the top leg down, press through the heel. And we're bringing the leg forward and back like a pendulum. And then bend the knee and stack them. Let's make big circles outward with the knees. The knee is drawing those big circles. Legs are heavy. This is a lot of work, I know. And then we'll stack the knee on the other. And then make those big circles facing towards your body. And then stack the knee. Stretch the leg long. Stretch, stretch long, stretch, stretch. Bend the knee, stack the knee. Last one. Stretch that top leg long, press through the heel and lift it up. So you don't want to open, but you want to keep the leg with the knee forward. Then go ahead and stack the knee and we'll hold for a breath. Okay. Roll onto your back. And take one knee into your chest and stretch the other leg long. And switch it up Opposite knee and opposite leg long. Go back to the first knee and stretch the other leg long. And guide the knee across your body into the other side. And then reach down with both hands, take the knee into your chest and roll onto your back. And release the knee. We'll go to the other side. So opposite knee to your chest. Stretch the opposite leg long. And with your hands, guide your knee across the body and to the other side. And then reach down with your hands, take the knee to your chest and release. I'm checking my Zoom, I'm getting a message. I don't have my glasses, so I can't see. Okay. Okay, so here you are on your back. And let's take a little assessment here. We'll start with the head and neck. And bring your do Shavasana. I just want people to be able to hear me. Okay, so we'll do a little Shavasana here. We have about 4 minutes, and that's a perfect amount of time. So drop your chin down towards your chest and see how that feels on your neck. We're just looking to open the back of your neck. Sometimes when you're lying down and your chin is higher than your forehead, it might be because you have a little tension back there. And then take your arms down by your side and roll the palms out to the ceiling. So you're taking them just a bit away from your body. And then notice the shoulders. Draw them up towards your ears and back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades and just release the arms. Down into your belly. Breathe in the belly and let tension go. Stay with your hips. Breathe into your hips. And let the tension go. On the length of your legs, into your toes and feet. Draw the breath in, fill up the belly. And as you let it out, imagine all of the pain and ache and tension, your muscles go with it. Going up and ready to move your hands and your feet. The wrists and ankles, elbows and knees. Take just a moment to roll onto one side. Nice way to and let the head be the last thing that comes up. This is always a suggested pose. If it doesn't feel good on your knees or back, you always have the option. Sit in your chair. Sit on a blanket. So if you can think to bring, blankets, blocks, go ahead and do that. It really can be helpful when we're moving around in yoga. Let's bring our hands to our heart. We'll rest the thumbs right there on your heart. Nice deep breath. And out. Raise my hands to my forehead, connecting my mind and my heart. I'll add a little bow for namaste. And don't forget the tops. Both sides. And in between, creating some heat. Let's interlace those fingers and we'll press forward. I like to take it out and all the way up. Go to one side, back to the center and off to the other side. I apologize, my feet and my hands are cut off, but you get the idea. Okay, release and we'll shake them all the way down. Okay, interlace those fingers again, but do it in the opposite direction. So if you normally have your left thumb on top, switch it so your right thumb is on top, and we'll press forward and inhale it all the way up. Again, we'll go off to one side and the other side, and release and shake them all the way down. Let's interlace our fingers. We have one big ball here and we'll move it from side to side. And then come to the center and we'll switch it up, opposite thumb on top, and we'll roll that big ball side to side. And release, and we'll extend one arm forward and press through the heel of your hand. So it's almost like a stomp, right? And with the other hand, just draw the fingers back, getting a nice stretch. And of course, the other side, arm out in front, press through the heel of your hand and draw those fingers back. And release. Let's bring the palms to face up, and with your thumb, we'll do a little paint across your palm. You could just touch the base of each finger. And we'll make some heat again. I have some yoga people. No yoga people. False alarm. Okay, let's take the arms out to the side. Really stretch through your fingers. Open your chest and give yourself a nice boost. Side to side. And move right to side, left and right twist. And back to the center. So notice which arm is on top. We're going to switch it up. Nice big hug. Side. And come to the center, and we'll twist left to right. And back to the center. Release those arms. Hang them by your side. Give them a good shake. Let's take one hand and hold the underside of your chair, the opposite arm right up next to your ear. We're going to use the breath to reach and stretch, and then the exhale to open the whole side. Inhale up and reach and stretch, and open the whole side. And back to the center and release the arm. Switch it up, hold the underside of your chair and opposite arm right up next to your ear. Really stretch and reach before you open up. Press your feet into the floor, pull your belly in. Maintain this nice tall spine. Let's do two more. Last one. And inhale it up and release out and down. Up to the edge of our chair. I think I've mentioned many times, when you're at the edge of your chair, you're asking your core to work and your torso and your spine. So you're getting a lot of the benefit you would if you were standing. Let's reach to the back of our chair and open your chest. So we'll use the breath to move in and out of this. So we'll inhale, lift our heart. And as you exhale, bring the arms out in front. You can even bring the hands together and round. Pull the belly in. So it's almost like a cat and a cow. So inhaling and exhaling. Even tuck your chin down. Inhaling and lift. And exhale and round. Three more. Inhale back to neutral. Let's do something for the shoulders. First of all, take them up to your ears and draw them back down. So big circles. And don't forget to breathe. And pause for a moment with a nice open chest, and we'll draw the shoulders forward for these big circles. And then release the effort, come to neutral, and we'll draw the shoulders up to your ears and squeeze and hang those arms and release. Lots of space between your ear and your shoulder. One last one. Very nice. Okay, let's do something for the hips. So we'll walk the feet nice and wide. And if you can't see, I'm doing toe and then heel, walking wide and then walking together. Let's keep the knees wide and we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. Let's walk the feet together and we'll stretch one leg. This is my right leg. I'm stretching it forward, really press through the heel, point the toes to the ceiling, and let's add a reach. So we'll reach the ankle. Press this opposite foot into the floor and help you come back to seated. So work with your breath as you move forward and back. One last time, I think that's 5. And feet on the floor, other side, stretch that leg out, press through the heel. Don't lock the knee back. Have a nice, strong, stretched leg, and we'll add the reach. Press this foot into the floor. Help you come back. So a few more. And just and we'll bend the knee and place the feet on the floor. Let's do a little open close, open close. warming up those hips. And feet on the floor. Let's take one knee into your chest and give your knee a little hug. And then release, and we'll go to the other side. Give that knee a little hug. This is how I'm always keeping my feet active. I'm not just kind of hanging out. Make everything active, make everything work. Sitting up nice and straight and tall. Let's do a forward bend. So I'll always begin with a breath in. Or forward bend, and then we just glide the hands down over the knees and forward. And then see if you can let go of your head. You might not be able to. It's a psychological thing. It's a trust. You let it go. And then when you're ready, inhale and walk the hands up and over. Back to seated. Let's do that again. Nice deep breath in and exhale forward and down. Then when you start to take that breath in, walk it up and back. Let's hold for a breath and notice. All right, we're going to stand behind the chair. And I'm just going to come up onto the balls of my feet. So beginning in the mountain pose, right? And then lift up onto the balls of your feet here. And then come down onto the heels and lift your toes. But even have open as you lift up. Squeeze your fingers together as you come down and lift the toes. Onto the balls of your feet. Are you rolling to the outside, to the baby toe? If you are, see if you can center your weight under the big toe and across the ball of your feet. Let's open our feet a little wider than hip width apart, and I'm just going to put my hands on my hips. I always like to take a few minutes to kind of loosen up big joints like knees and hips and shoulders. So important. Let's add a circle here. So to add the circle, my knees are soft. And I'm going to press my hips forward and then back. Make some big circles. I'm not pressing my knees back. I'm keeping them loose. I can work with my hips. And then come to the center and go in the opposite direction. We're making some big circles, easy knees. And let's come back to the center and we'll move from side to side. And then move to the right and hold for a breath. Left and hold for a breath. And come to center, take your shoulders down and back, reach your fingers to the floor. We're going to place one hand on your thigh, the other hand right up next to your ear. If you're looking more like this, that's okay too. We're going to use this as a triangle pose. I'm just going to glide my hand down and over. Let's do it a couple times. Keep the arm up if you can. A little bend in the elbow. And come to center and release the arm. Go to the other side. This hand on my thigh, opposite arm right up next to my ear, and open it up. If you're looking like this, that's okay too. So imagine that you're pressed between the pages of a book and a dried flower, you know. We're not coming forward or back. We're nice and flat. Then come to the center. Walk our feet together into mountain. Then open your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. We're going to kick the heels towards the back. Kicking towards the back. Now, if you want your chair, you can always do it behind your chair, right? If that feels safer, hands on your hips. I like to do that. Squeeze it up a little bit. You're breathing and slow it down. And come to center and we'll walk the feet together. Right, big mountain, strong, stable. Breath down low. Okay, so I'm standing behind my chair, but I still think you can see. And we're going to continue to do the warm up. So let's bring your big right toe and let's touch it out in front and to the side and then back to the center. So touch, touch, back to center. Like a little dance. We're getting our heart pumping, our breath moving, and that's what we want. Okay, and back to the center. Breath down low. Hands on your hips, and this time the toe touches in the back. So you've always got your chair here. If it helps you feel more stable, that's fine too. Maybe challenge yourself a bit. Let's see. And last one. Okay, so back to mountain. Shoulders up, back and down, breath down low. Okay, so I'm going to stand behind my chair. And everything standing always begins in mountain. So we'll begin with a breath. And then as you exhale the breath, walk yourself back into the downward dog. So your knees are easy, they're never locked backwards. I'm just going to drop your head between your elbows. If you're more like this, that's fine too, but bend your knees so you're not getting strain in your low back. Pull the belly in nice and tight. Lift your knees. When you're ready to inhale, we'll lift and walk to the back of the chair. Back into mountain. So let's move in and out of downward dog with our breath. So we start with the breath in. And then we walk backwards, downward dog. And the minute we need to inhale, with your chest and walk back into mountain. Breath in and walking back. Downward dog. Knees. Inhale and walk back. Shoulders back, breath down low. I'm going to place the chair in front. I think you can still see. I'm standing in mountain. I'm going to move into a tree pose. And tree pose looks like this. Coming up onto the ball of one foot, nice and grounded on the other. And we're just going to walk it in. Walking it in, I'm going to rest my heel just above the opposite ankle. Then I'll bring my hands into Namaste. And the next time you inhale, lift those prayer hands up and over your head. This allows you to really stretch down through that balancing side. Really press the foot into the floor. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down to the center of your chest and go to the other side. Back into mountain. And up on the ball of my foot, I'm going to walk it in, rest my ankle right above, rest my heel right above my ankle, and bring my hands into Namaste. On the next inhale, I'm going to lift them right up, and then I feel a nice long stretch down through the side and into the floor of my balancing foot. And the next time you exhale, we'll bring the hands to your heart and release the feet into mountain. Spread your toes nice and wide. Just rock around on the bottoms of your feet. Let's do another pose. This time, I'm going to turn the chair around so I'm looking at the seat of the chair. You don't need it yet, but it'll be there when we're ready. And I'm going to walk to the bottom of my mat. And with hands on hips, to my mind, I'm going to turn this around so it's there if I need it. I'm going to turn it around and place it on the side so it's there if you need it. Nice deep breath in, and we're going to step the right foot forward. Don't be afraid to make a nice big step because you've got your chair there if you need it. Let's bring the arms down by your side and point the fingers to the floor, beginning with nice straight legs. We're going to move in and out of warrior pose with our breath. So using the breath to bend the forward knee and bring the arms out in front. And you can stop right here. You want to bring them all the way up, or you could just bring one up. And the exhale will bring us out and down. Let's do 3 more. So inhale, warrior, and exhale out and down. Inhale, warrior, and exhale out and down. Last one. This one we're going to hold for a breath. Inhale, warrior, and exhale out and down. Warrior. Exhale. Walk the feet together. We'll come to the back of the chair again. Place your chair on the other side. So it's there if you need it. Hands on hips. We'll take a big step forward with the left foot. You guys are paying attention. Arms down by your side, fingers point to the floor. We're going to use the in-breath. Come in and out. And warrior chair there. Here we go, 3 times. Last one, we're going to hold for a breath. And walk together in mountain. This would be a nice time to walk into a downward dog again. You know, warrior is that hot energy, that heat building strength energy, and downward dog is that cool energy, that take it down energy. So they're nice complement to each other. So begin with a breath in, and then as you exhale, walk away, and dropping into downward dog with easy knees. And then as you start to take your in-breath, lift, and coming back to mountain pose. Let's come back to our chair. We've got about 15 minutes. I want to save a few of those minutes for a Shavasana. So let's come back. Hey. So find your sit bones and lift up and out of them. Imagine you're lifting out and up, making the tallest spine you can make. And then see if you can release the belly. Let it be soft. There's this temptation to bring it in. Here we want it to be soft. Think about releasing your shoulders. Let's drop the arms by your side and then roll the shoulders up, down, and back. So we're lifting this kind of energy that's pulling you down through your fingers and arms, and at the same time lifting up to the crown of your head and soften the belly. Really tough, right? Because we want to pull it in. Play with that. See if you can make that happen. Okay. I'm going to show you a downward dog in the chair. And it really is a neat pose. And there's many modifications to it. We're going to move to the edge of our chair and stretch the feet forward. So I'm digging my heels into the rug here. The rug is not as stable as your non-stick mat. Also, I'm not blocking the knees here. I'm keeping that micro bend. And again, I want to keep that nice tall spine. And the downward dog in the chair looks like this. So mountain, nice deep breath in. Arms go out to the side and all the way up. And here I'm pressing my palms forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to come forward, a little more of a bend in the knee. We're just coming forward inches. We're not coming way down here. Just inches forward. You're hinging from that hip. And then inhale it back and release the arms out and down. I like to bend the knees. Okay. Let's try it 2 more times. I think we can do it. Stretch the legs out in front. Find your traction, find your stability. Inhale, arms out and up, and exhale. Keep the arms in line with your ears and just dip it forward. I think that's a good word. Dip it forward, just inches. Inhaling it back and releasing the arms and legs. One more time. Stretch, stretch. Arms by your side. Shoulders back and down. Let's use the in-breath. Out and up. Palms are forward. Exhale. Downward dog. Inhale it up and back. Let's come forward once again. And arms out, down, and feet. Let's hold for a breath here. And take the knee into your chest. I like to keep my feet active here. Or you can take this opportunity to make some circles. Right? Never miss an opportunity. And other knee into your chest, give it a little squeeze, making some circles. And release. Do a little open close here for the knees. As you can see, I'm just kind of rubbing my knees. Knees are important. When they give us trouble, we really know it, right? We do. Okay, so next pose is eagle pose. So we're gonna walk the feet together. My ankles are together, my knees are together. I'm kind of squeezing everything together. Now I'm going to take my right thigh and cross it over my left. Notice how I'm helping here. I'm helping. Then I'm not going to lose my nice tall spine. And this foot and toe pointing towards the floor, you're going to really stretch and point. Unless that creates a cramp. Sometimes it'll create a cramp for people. Okay, so the arms down by my side, shoulders up, down and back. I'm going to scoop the arms out to the side, bend the elbows. I'm in cactus here, and then bring them together. So elbows, heels of your hands and fingers. And then really lift those elbows up at shoulder height or even a little higher. See if you can just reach a little higher. And then release the arms and release the legs. And we'll do some open close. If you're looking like this, you know, something like that, that's okay too, as long as it's not painful on your knee or on your hip. Okay. Feet together, knees together, nice tall spine. So I'm crossing my left thigh over my right, and I'm helping myself here. Toes point to the floor. And nice tall posture. Shoulders up, down, and back. Scoop the arms out. Bend the elbows. Cactus pose. And elbows together. Heels of your hands and fingers. See if you can lift those elbows up at shoulder height. Get a little bit higher. Then we'll open the arms, release the arms, release the legs. Let's stretch those legs out in front, one at a time. Okay. One last pose. And we'll begin seated in our chair. Feel your sit bones, sit nice and tall, shoulders back and down. This time we're gonna walk the knees wide, using my ankles to walk them wide. Then don't lose your nice tall spine. And we're gonna bend from the side. So feel like you can move from side to side. Feel that like you're weighted on one sit bone and then the other. See if you can keep yourself kind of balanced, seated on both. We're gonna take the forearms in my right forearm, and I'm just gonna cross it over my right thigh with my hand hanging out in the middle. I don't wanna lose my nice tall spine, so keep reaching up to the crown of your head. And then the opposite hand, I'm gonna bring it to my hip. So we're looking to open the chest, kind of stack your shoulders, right? And then on an inhale, I'm gonna reach the arm right up next to my ear. See that? I'm reaching up. And if you're looking more like this, that's okay too. At the same time, I'm pressing to my inner thigh and I'm opening my heart. It feels really nice. It's a really good opening of your heart. And then we'll release the arm, come to center, and gently walk the feet together. Again, I'll do a stretch forward here. And feet on the floor. Right, this is our mountain pose, our seated mountain pose. Shoulders up, down, and back. Lift up through the crown of your head. Mountain. Okay, walking the feet wide. And then notice, just, maybe you want to move your feet around. And move from side to side. See if you can keep both sit bones grounded. Pull the belly in nice and tight. And sit up nice and straight and tall. Left forearm crosses my left thigh. Hand is hanging out in the middle. Opposite hand comes to my hip. I'm opening my chest and lifting my heart to the sky. The last part is inhaling this arm. You could lift it out in front, opening all your fingers, or bring it right up next to your ear and feel the stretch from your heel all the way to your fingertips, that line of energy. And then I press to the inside of my thigh and open my heart. See that? Use your breath. That nice opening. Bend the elbow, release the arms, walk the feet together, stretch, stretch. And take one knee into your chest and give it a little squeeze. And the other knee to your chest and give it a little squeeze. And sit up nice and straight and tall. About 5 minutes. And I want to take those minutes to do a relaxation. So at the end of most typical yoga classes, you'll do a relaxation called Shavasana. And it's also called the corpse pose. There are other names. I call it Shavasana. And that's the Sanskrit name for Shavasana. So Shavasana in a typical yoga class, you'd be laying on your back. Maybe your feet would be on the floor, your knees are bent, maybe your legs will be extended, and you just kind of open yourself up and relax and release. And the reason for Shavasana is that, the world is a stressful place, can be a stressful place. And because of that, our muscles get tight. Our belly gets tight. We hold emotion in our muscles and body. We hold stress in our muscles and body. So when we have an opportunity to do Shavasana, we can kind of systematically release. And then we get to feel what that feels like. You don't really get a lot of opportunity to feel without stress. But we're going to try that right now. Try to feel what the body feels like without stress. And the idea is that the more you practice, the more your body and mind will be at ease. So it's a good theory. Let's see if we can make it happen. All right, so have your feet down. And let's try not to lose that nice tall spine, but then I want you to breathe into it and release it. In other words, not release it, but just kind of settle into it. And the big part of that is releasing your belly. Like you want to hold it tight a lot. See if you can let it go. Close your eyes. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. And just for a moment, we're going to notice. We're not going to change anything. We're not going to make our breath bigger or our muscles release more. We're just going to notice, right? Allow that breath to be like a wave. It comes into the beach, your inhale, and then it flows out. Your exhales. Try to work with your inhale and exhale. Do a little assessment. How's the neck and shoulders? How's the jaw? This can be a really big place for me. With the shoulders, your belly and hips. Go down the length of your arms and the length of your legs. And into your feet and hands. Your breath move in and flow out. When you're ready, wiggle your fingers. Roll your ankles and wrists. Move to the edge of your chair. Take your right knee, give it a little squeeze, right? This would be taking your knees to your chest if you're on the floor, right? We'll do one at a time. Both together is really tough in the chair, so we don't do that. And take your arms up to the side. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, hands together down to the center of your heart. Namaste. Try that again, out to the side. Hands together. Namaste. I love 3, so last one. And exhale. With your thumbs on your heart, lift that right up here to the center of your forehead, where your mind resides, where it lives, and then back to your heart. We're making a connection. Connecting our mind and our body, something so simple. We'll add a little bow for Namaste. Namaste. Enjoy your Saturday. How did we do on time? Ooh, did so well on time. All right, come back next week. Tell your friends.
Thanks, Sharon.
Bye, Victoria. Thank you.
All right.